A lot of gardeners have heard the same advice lately. Add charcoal to your soil and it will transform your garden. Biochar, charcoal dust, burned wood. People are dumping it into their beds thinking it's some kind of miracle soil booster. But here's the problem. Used the wrong way, charcoal can actually starve your plants, lock up nutrients, and slow down soil biology instead of improving it. And I've seen gardens where plants turned pale, growth stalled, and yields dropped after charcoal was added. Not because charcoal is bad, but because most people are using it incorrectly. And once you understand the mistake, it becomes obvious why it happens. Before getting into that, let me mention a tool that helped me catch this issue early in my own beds. I started using a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter that measures soil moisture, soil temperature, pH, and sunlight intensity. Because, honestly, guessing what's happening underground is one of the biggest problems in gardening. In a couple of beds where charcoal had been added, I noticed the soil pH and moisture balance were shifting in ways I wouldn't have seen just by looking at the plants. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It's a simple tool, but it prevents a lot of silent soil problems. Once I started measuring what charcoal was actually doing in the soil, the mistake became very clear. And it's something almost everyone gets wrong. The problem isn't charcoal itself. Charcoal has been used in agriculture for thousands of years. The famous Amazonian terra preta soils, some of the most fertile soils ever discovered, contain large amounts of charcoal mixed with organic material. Those soils stayed productive for centuries without synthetic fertilizers. So the concept is real. Charcoal can improve soil structure, hold nutrients, and create habitat for beneficial microbes. But the key word there is can, because the charcoal used in those ancient soils wasn't dumped straight into the ground, it was prepared first. And skipping that preparation step is where most modern gardeners run into trouble. Fresh charcoal acts like a sponge. Charcoal is extremely porous. If you look at it under a microscope, it looks like a honeycomb of tiny cavities and channels. Those pores are exactly why charcoal can improve soil over time. But when it's first added to soil, those pores are empty. That means charcoal starts absorbing everything around it. Water, nutrients, minerals, and even microbial activity get pulled into those tiny cavities. In other words, instead of feeding the soil, fresh charcoal can temporarily steal nutrients from plants. Nitrogen is usually the first nutrient affected, and nitrogen deficiency shows up quickly. Leaves turn pale green or yellow, plants grow slowly, fruit production drops. Many gardeners see these symptoms and assume they need more fertilizer, but the real issue is the charcoal acting like an empty sponge. So the biggest mistake people make is adding charcoal to soil without charging it first. Charging, in simple terms, just means filling those pores with nutrients and microbes before you add the charcoal to your garden beds. Now, ancient farmers, whether they realized it or not, actually did this by mixing charcoal with compost, manure, food scraps, and organic waste. The charcoal would soak up nutrients from all those materials before it ever touched the soil. By the time it was applied to the field, it was already loaded with life. But, a lot of modern gardening videos skip this step entirely. Folks crush charcoal, spread it on their garden beds, and expect immediate improvement. The trouble is that raw charcoal is still empty, and it actually pulls nutrients away from your plants during those early stages. So here's what charging charcoal actually looks like. When I'm preparing charcoal for my own garden beds, I mix it with compost and water and let it sit for at least 2 weeks. The ratio I usually go with is about 1 part crushed charcoal to 3 parts compost. Then I moisten the mixture so microbes can start colonizing all those little charcoal pores. Over that time, bacteria and fungi move right into the structure of the charcoal. Nutrients from the compost get absorbed into those tiny cavities. Once that process is done, the charcoal becomes a stable nutrient reservoir, not a nutrient thief. When you add it to soil in that state, it behaves completely differently. Plants honestly respond much better. So, why is charcoal so powerful when it's used correctly? Well, once you've charged it, charcoal actually acts like a long-term storage system for nutrients. Soil microbes move in and colonize all those tiny pores, creating these protected microhabitats. Water gets stored right in the charcoal structure and is released slowly as the soil dries out. And, nutrients that would normally wash away during heavy rain end up staying trapped inside those pores instead. In raised beds, where nutrients can leach away pretty quickly, this effect is especially useful. I've personally seen beds hold onto their fertility much longer when properly prepared charcoal was mixed in with the soil. But again, the preparation step is really what makes all the difference. Raised beds actually show the charcoal mistake very clearly. They usually have light, compost-rich soil that drains fast, which makes them perfect for testing soil amendments. In one experiment I ran, I mixed raw charcoal into one raised bed and properly charged charcoal into another. The difference, honestly, showed up within just a few weeks. The bed with raw charcoal had slower growth early in the season, while the charged charcoal bed produced thicker stems and much deeper green leaves. The soil structure improved faster too. Water retention went up a bit, but drainage still stayed good, and that's exactly the kind of balance most gardeners are after. Charcoal can also affect soil pH, and that's another factor a lot of gardeners tend to ignore. Depending on where it comes from, charcoal can be alkaline. If you add a lot of it directly to your soil, it can actually push the pH higher. For crops like blueberries, potatoes, or strawberries that prefer things a bit more acidic, that shift can cause nutrient lockout. That's why tools that measure soil conditions are so useful. Without measuring pH, gardeners might not realize why their plants are struggling. A small change underground can make a big difference above ground. Hydroponic growers, actually, use the same principle without even thinking about it. Even in hydroponic systems, materials like clay pebbles and certain growing media behave a lot like charcoal. They're porous and hold nutrients inside all those microscopic cavities, stabilizing moisture and nutrient availability around the roots. Charcoal works in soil for the same reason. Its structure creates space for microbes and nutrient storage. But hydroponic growers always condition their media before planting, so the principle is already understood in those other growing systems. The right amount, honestly, matters too. Another mistake gardeners often make is just adding way too much charcoal. A little really does go a long way. In most garden soils, mixing charcoal at around 5 to 10% of the total soil volume is plenty. More than that can disrupt soil balance and crowd out important organic matter. Charcoal works best as a structural additive, not as the main ingredient. Think of it as long-term infrastructure for your soil microbes. Healthy soil is a system, not a shortcut. There are a lot of gardening trends out there that promise fast results. Add this product, sprinkle that powder, pour this liquid, and suddenly your garden is perfect. But real soil improvement just doesn't work that way. Healthy soil comes from the interaction between microbes, organic matter, minerals, moisture, oxygen, and plant roots. Charcoal can support that system when it's prepared and used properly, but if it's added carelessly, it can actually disrupt the very biology we're trying to improve. Understanding the difference is what separates productive gardens from the ones that struggle. The more time you spend learning how soil actually works, the more predictable your garden becomes. Plants respond directly to what's happening underground. Temperature, moisture, microbial life, and nutrient availability all shape how your crops grow. Once those factors are balanced, plants honestly do most of the work themselves. If you enjoy practical gardening knowledge like this, real techniques tested in actual gardens, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone who's adding charcoal straight into their soil right now, share this video with them. It might just save their garden from a season of slow growth and disappointing harvests.